Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi.
So, what do you think of the case?
Okay. In the beginning, when I had first met the kids, I thought that, oh well, it's just another ordinary family, just children being naughty and things like those. Then gradually, as time progressed, I realized that the kids are actually in a bad space in their lives. What's called Baha, being Down syndrome,
Yeah.
having to fend for herself. Imina, she was about barely 7, having to perform duties, adult duties.
Yeah.
And Hizr, actually still a baby at that age, that he was not
What
not
year was
fully.
that?
Hizr,
No, at that time, what year was that?
2020.
2020.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he himself was still at an age where he still needed to grasp things and basic things that were not even taught to him, at least actually to all 3 of them. They were just left there to fend for themselves, figure out things for themselves. So there was not that adult guidance where we would think they practically just being naughty or they don't understand, when in actual fact they didn't know right from wrong. Even simple things like eating, the etiquette of eating and things like that. They never had that feeling of sitting down as a family at the table and sharing with each other and things like that. It's just like the way when I've met them, it's like they were let loose from a cage. I'm sorry to put it in that light, but that is just the impression that I got from the way they were fed and things like that. Proper upbringing also, the children, even this with their schoolwork and things, it's just like the father would sit with him, he would just do it in his driving. While he's driving, the children must read to him or things like that. There was not that proper structure that's put in place. There was no structure in the sense where children needs to learn, okay, there's a time and a place for everything. And if you had something like enough, you cannot go over your limits and things like that, because if they would ask for something, we would just give, because I think for him that was more just like, oh, you want that's now my love that I'm giving to you, which in actual fact is not what the children needed. In the beginning, I was normally too afraid to tell the child that is not the proper way, because then they would react in a way that I was actually afraid once when I had mentioned to Imina something specifically she done, and I said to her, you're a girl, that's not appropriate for a girl to do. And she ran off and she went to go find herself in a corner, and she went to go and cry. And then it was actually strange to me, because yes, I am an educator, but that for me was a new type of behavior. That is something that I've never experienced before. And she was screaming things like, no, nobody loves me. And then I realized, oh wow, that's actually deep. Then that's when I thought, no, these children, they don't know right from wrong. So maybe for them that's a normal thing.
Because they don't know the values.
Yes. And then I just slowly tried to bring myself to their level and, be understandable where that is concerned. Having 3 children of my own in the beginning, I didn't think that I would be capable or able to look after them as well.
Where were you at the time?
At this time, I was living with my parents in Pekin Valley. Firstly, the living arrangements was not conducive. The area itself is also not a nice area for them to be growing up in.
So how many people in the house?
Roughly between 15 and 20. So at the moment, we were 4 families living in the house. And there was only 1 bathroom, which was very, very, it wasn't advisable because...
How big was the house?
It's a 3-bedroom house. So it was a masonette.
150 square meter?
Yeah, could be. With Baha being Down syndrome and with myself being pregnant at the time, 1 bathroom was not gonna do it for us. At this point, I was feeling like, no, I cannot give these children what they need. I need to do something about it, but I also couldn't live with the conscience of sending them back to an abusive father. Thus, I approached the embassy with the assistance of Nurain and her husband. And this is when the embassy, as well as Mr. Jacques and everybody else at the embassy, also pitched in. And they have been, alhamdulillah, and when I think about it, one cannot sit dry-eyed, because the embassy is truly a big is too small of a word to use, a huge, a very big blessing in our lives. Constantly they were pitching in since day one, even up until now. I don't even need to worry about a simple thing, because the embassy is always there, always has our back. June 2020, June 2021. Actually, before that we approached, and it started, and then when with the housing allowance and everything, it started in June 2021. Up until today, everybody's so caring and helpful. I don't know how I could have done it without the without Allah and your assistance from making everything possible, seeing to the finer details, and going above and beyond.
Yeah. So what's your wish for them?
For them, I want them. They have never had the opportunity to be children, in the sense of children enjoying themselves, being a child, having fun, playing like everybody else is playing. So in their young days, though, as little ones, I want them to enjoy their life. I want them to enjoy their days with their friends or with whomever they play with, and gradually not worry about adult things and big things that they were always at. Like Emina always had to worry about having to clean Hizr, having to feed Hizr, having to see to Bahar and everything. I don't want her to have that mindset. I want her to be a child and enjoy her childhood. And
how do you see the difference?
I do see now, because there were days that if I needed assistance from her with where Bahar's concerned, and then you could see in a way that she's getting tired also. She's like, oh, again this. She maybe won't say it, but and now with her family being here and everybody else also pitching in, you can see she's a total different child, because that responsibility, that heavy load, that weight is lifted from her shoulders, yes, and she can feel. She's still a bit eerie at the moment because she's still got that, but I suppose gradually over time she will get used to that idea as well. So for now, I just want them to be free. I want them to be children and be themselves and express themselves. And Yumina's got the dream of becoming a doctor. Hiz's got this dream of becoming a fireman. And they were never granted that opportunities, because when I'd met them, we asked them what it is that they wanted to be. And then this was the first time that I was away from their father, and she hesitated to answer me, where I know before that she always answered a businesswoman. But then I realized she was in the presence of her father. Hence she replied that. And then I said, but Amina, what would you like to be? And then she says, I want to be a doctor, but my father. So I said, it's not what your father wants you to be, it's what makes you happy. So what do you want to be? And then, so now whenever somebody asks her, then confidently she can say, I want to be a doctor, without being afraid of, oh, my dad's going to find out. So in their schooling, they are very smart children, so I just wish them all the success there as well. May their dreams be materialized once they go to university and varsity, and I am going to miss them. I know there were days that I have not been the perfect mother, where things has become too much, where frustration settled in, and all those types of things. But I just make dua that, and I know that now they are in even better hands, and that they will excel and they will do good, because they are determined children. My love will continue to follow them. I will continue to follow their journey through their life, and I will never forget the presence that they had made in our lives. When I've spent time with them, they taught me a lesson of how I need to spend time with my own children, and now I need to be more there for my own children. They have taught me the value of family. They have taught me the value of time, and being there and praising them constantly. So shukran to the three of them for, as hard as it was, they have taught me invaluable lessons as well. And I hope to visit them soon in the near future. Over abroad. I do wish to visit them on and off at least. But if I cannot do it once a year, then at least make it an effort to visit them maybe twice, not twice a year, every second year, every third year, but at least I don't want to break that bond. I still want to continue.
Inshallah, one day you could visit them in Indonesia.
Inshallah.
Terima kasih.
Terima kasih. Yeah, with Yusuf, there is a slight change as well. He used to also be that type of boy that if you want something, no, he wants it and he's gonna get it. Because that's how he was brought up. There was never a way of...
He was spoiled.
Yes, in that sense he was spoiled. More so than Imina and Wilbahar. So now he understands that everything has consequences. And in order, if you want something, you work for it,
you have to earn it,
or you earn it. Yes, you earn it. And with in the beginning, his father used to just give him the cell phone, and he used to play until the late. There were times that he would play right through the night, and I, as the mother at the time, could not interfere or anything, because well, then I would be attacked physically. Then I was just to leave it as that. But then it affected his schoolwork, because well, his teachers would say that he's sleeping in class, and even at the parent meeting, his father mentioned, no, he's a smart boy, and I will buy him computers and all this. But then the teacher was also explaining, but that is not how you rear your children. You need to implement morals and values.
What about Gulbahar?
There's a time that she has been over her father, but now she used to call for her dad a lot. But that, I'm not sure whether it was because of the trauma that she suffered in that moment, and he was present in it. That is why she constantly calls out his name, which is actually not a good thing. And to the father, it feels like her constantly saying his name was something good. It was only after a while that I realized maybe this child was in pain at that moment when she called out the person that was causing the harm to her. So it's actually sad. She still, I think when she sees him, she still would go to him and things like that. But I mean, it's only because of he's the father.
Any change in her behavior?
Yes. In the beginning too, like she wouldn't know right from wrong. The way they would eat with all hands. Now she waits her turn, and if she doesn't want something, she will indicate to you, or if she would like to have something, she would indicate to you. And even there was constant danger of her whenever she saw liquid, she would think it's something to drink. So now she's
not anymore.
Now I think she's a bit weary because she knows, so she won't. It's still a bit there where you have to watch her when there's a cool drink, even if it's not a cool drink. As long as she can see it's liquid, she will go for it and she will grab it. But she's like also. She's now at the point where she waits her turn, or she will, even with the toilet as well, she will, if you come there perhaps and you take too long, then she would have already done what she had to do. She's very witty. I always say she's a very witty child. She knows what she's supposed to do.
Terima kasih.
Terima kasih.